Did you ever spend time with the guy? Did you ever meet Diddy?
I've met him before, yeah.
How was he?
Very nice guy, very smart, super business. You know, I mean, he's very successful.
With this newest lawsuit, this would probably only expedite or increase the amount of allegations and potential witnesses who could testify against Sean Combs.
The celebrity world is no stranger to glitz, glamour, and jaw-dropping scandals. But what happens when the secrets are so dark, they shake Hollywood to its core? That's the storm brewing right now, with explosive allegations rocking the world of Sean Diddy Combs. And the shockwaves don't stop with him. These revelations are pulling other A-listers into the spotlight, turning up the heat on their carefully curated images. Two names now caught in the crossfire: Jennifer Lopez and Ashton Kutcher. For years, they've maintained their polished, untouchable public personas. But recent bombshells hint that their connections to Diddy might have some skeletons in the closet, ones they'd probably rather keep locked away.
But it just seems very suspicious when you go through and you look at in the history of different people that can make you go away if you know. Listen, I've worried about some of the things that I talk about on my show.
Jennifer Lopez, an icon whose name has defined entertainment for decades. Her meteoric rise to fame in the late 1990s was nothing short of legendary, but it's her off-screen life that harbors a shadowy complexity. In the late 90s, JLo's whirlwind romance with Sean Diddy Combs was the talk of every tabloid, a passionate, chaotic love story that captivated Hollywood. But as some insiders reveal, their relationship may have been more troubling than anyone dared to imagine. The pair met in 1999, quickly becoming one of Hollywood's most iconic power couples. On the surface, they seemed like a perfect match. The Bronx-born singer and actress soaring to stardom, and the larger-than-life hip-hop mogul who ruled the industry. But beneath the glamorous facade, whispers of a darker truth began to emerge, a truth that could rewrite the storybook image of their time together.
Wow. So, ladies, JLo being open about gushing over Ben, do you think she's making a mistake this time, going so public? Or is she just in love?
Their whirlwind romance wasn't just full of drama. It was the kind that could leave scars. Over the years, Jennifer Lopez has hinted that her time with Sean Diddy Combs was emotionally draining and at times downright toxic. Though she's never explicitly named names, her references to past relationships where she felt disrespected and manhandled have led insiders to believe she was talking about Diddy. One source close to Lopez once revealed that during their time together, she was frequently put in uncomfortable and compromising situations, ones that clashed with her image as the hardworking, grounded girl from the Bronx. And now, with certain allegations and photos resurfacing, people are beginning to question just how much she knew, or chose to ignore, about what was happening behind the scenes. One particular incident has reignited speculation. It happened in 2000, during the height of their relationship. What started as another glitzy evening turned into a night of chaos. New photos from that event have surfaced, showing a tense exchange between Lopez and Diddy. The body language is striking. Diddy leans in, bottle in hand, his expression intense, while Lopez looks visibly uncomfortable. What sparked their argument remains a mystery. But that night would soon spiral into one of the most controversial moments of Diddy's career. The timing of their heated exchange and the subsequent allegations have led many to wonder if Lopez was more aware of the situation than she's let on, or if she was simply caught up in the whirlwind of Diddy's chaotic world. Making matters worse, Lopez was reportedly at the same after-party where the alleged incident took place. Photos from the evening show her mingling near Diddy, champagne flowing, and the party in full swing. Witnesses described the atmosphere as wild, the kind of debauchery synonymous with Diddy's infamous gatherings. But rumors suggest darker activities unfolded behind closed doors. There's no evidence to directly implicate Lopez, but her presence at the party has raised uncomfortable questions. Did she know what was happening? Did she witness anything? Or was she an unsuspecting participant, swept up in the glamour and chaos of Diddy's world? Fast forward to today, and Lopez appears to be doing everything she can to distance herself from Diddy. Despite their high-profile romance, she rarely speaks about him in interviews. When she does address her past relationships, she keeps things vague, focusing on her present life with Ben Affleck. Recently, when paparazzi confronted her about the allegations surrounding Diddy, Lopez refused to engage and quickly exited the scene. It's a stark contrast to the Jennifer Lopez of the early 2000s, who was frequently seen smiling on Diddy's arm at every major event. Her current silence has only fueled speculation that she's determined to bury this chapter of her life as deeply as possible.
Money that they're saying Diddy has to start paying this guy on October 1st, right. Diddy's team is like, hold on, we need an emergency conversation about why this should not have been granted. And they awarded him a TRO, which basically meant that Diddy's team was not allowed to sell any property in that state or anything related to what could be used to pay the plaintiff.
But Jennifer Lopez isn't the only one facing scrutiny. Ashton Kutcher, Hollywood's golden boy and tech mogul, has also been pulled into the narrative. His connection to Sean Diddy Combs goes back to the early 2000s, a surprising friendship that left many scratching their heads. How did a farm kid from Iowa and a rap mogul from New York become such close pals? It all started with a prank, or rather, the prank that never happened. During Kutcher's punk days, he had plans to target Diddy in one of his elaborate stunts. But before the cameras could roll, Diddy caught wind of the scheme and made it clear in no uncertain terms. Pranking him would be a terrible idea. What could have been an awkward confrontation turned into an unexpected bond. According to Kutcher, Diddy's no-nonsense attitude intrigued him, and instead of creating animosity, the exchange sparked a friendship. From that moment on, the two were often spotted together, attending exclusive events and even collaborating on a few projects. But their relationship wasn't just about public appearances and business ventures. Kutcher became a regular at Diddy's infamous parties, including his legendary white parties, extravagant affairs that defined Hollywood excess. These events, notorious for their opulence and debauchery, were where Hollywood's elite gathered, and Kutcher seemed right at home in the chaos.
Diddy is now being sued in addition to what we just talked about by Dawn Richards. You guys will remember her. She was a part of Making the Band.
Dirty Money.
Dirty Money, the Danny Kane era. So basically what she is alleging, she's alleging a lot of different...
For years, Ashton Kutcher couldn't stop praising Diddy. He called him larger than life, the ultimate host who could throw legendary parties that people would talk about for decades. Kutcher's glowing endorsements painted a picture of opulence, exclusivity, and unparalleled fun. But now, with explosive allegations against Diddy dominating headlines, those compliments are coming back to haunt him. People are beginning to question what Kutcher might have seen or even participated in at those infamous gatherings. These weren't your typical Hollywood parties. They were extravagant, anything-goes events where the lines between glamour and chaos often blurred. While Kutcher has always maintained a tight-lipped stance about what really went on behind the velvet ropes, his silence in the wake of these revelations is starting to speak louder than words. With the public eye now turning toward him, the question lingers: what does Ashton Kutcher know, and why isn't he saying anything?
Diddy is now being sued in addition to what we just talked about by Dawn Richards. You guys will remember her. She was a part of Making the Band.
Dirty Money.
Dirty Money, the Danny Kane era. So basically what she is alleging, she's alleging a lot.
In fact, Ashton Kutcher is now reportedly going to great lengths to distance himself from Diddy. Sources close to the actor reveal that he's been scrubbing his social media, erasing any trace of their once close friendship. His wife, Mila Kunis, is said to be taking an even firmer stance, allegedly banning Kutcher from having any contact with Diddy. Insiders claim she's furious about the potential damage to their reputation, insisting that they cut ties completely. It's a striking departure from the days when Kutcher was one of Diddy's most vocal supporters, enthusiastically sharing stories about their adventures and praising the hip-hop mogul at every turn. Now, as the allegations pile up, Kutcher seems determined to rewrite his connection to Diddy, leaving fans to wonder just how deep that connection really ran.
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
Here's the thing, Kutcher's silence isn't sitting well with everyone. Critics are accusing him of turning a blind eye to Diddy's alleged behavior, prioritizing their friendship over accountability. Others are questioning if Kutcher knew more than he's willing to admit. And then, there's a darker theory circulating, that Kutcher might have been complicit in covering up some of Diddy's activities. While no concrete evidence has surfaced to support these claims, the rumors alone are enough to cast a shadow over his once pristine image. What was once Hollywood's golden boy is now facing growing skepticism, leaving many to wonder, how much did Ashton Kutcher really know, and was his silence more than just loyalty?
Probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotape.
What makes this even more troubling is that Ashton Kutcher has positioned himself as a champion for justice in recent years. He's been an outspoken advocate for protecting vulnerable communities and even testified before Congress on these issues. So, the idea that he might have turned a blind eye to questionable activities within Diddy's circle is especially jarring. It's a stark reminder that even the most well-intentioned public figures can have skeletons in their closet. As the walls close in on Diddy, the spotlight isn't just on him anymore. It's now shining on those who were once closest to him. The ones who partied with him, laughed with him, and, in some cases, allegedly helped him keep his secrets. Jennifer Lopez and Ashton Kutcher may be trying to rewrite their narratives now, but the internet never forgets. The photos, the videos, the interviews, they're all out there. And the picture they paint is getting harder and harder to ignore.
If they did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this sexual conduct and being in those spaces, consuming drugs, consuming and things of that nature.
This raises the bigger question. How many other celebrities were involved? How far does this web of connections extend? And, most crucially, will the truth ever fully come to light, or will Hollywood's culture of secrecy continue to protect its own? Let's dive even deeper into the web surrounding Diddy's alleged controversies. If you thought the connections with Jennifer Lopez and Ashton Kutcher were jaw-dropping, just wait until you hear how far this rabbit hole goes. It's not just about two celebrities trying to salvage their public images. It's about an entire network of Hollywood elites, many of whom appear to have been swept up in the chaos. What's becoming increasingly clear is that Diddy's world wasn't just about glitz, glamour, and extravagant parties. Beneath the surface, there was a darker side to his empire. As the layers peel back, it's exposing some of the entertainment industry's most shocking secrets. Diddy's infamous parties have become the stuff of legend. For years, they embodied the fantasy of Hollywood excess, with celebrities from every corner of the industry clamoring for an invite. These weren't just any parties, they were meticulously planned, highly exclusive events dripping in opulence that could rival royalty. But as more details emerge, it seems these gatherings were about far more than champagne towers and designer outfits. Behind the velvet ropes, there were whispers of activities that would leave even hardened Hollywood insiders raising an eyebrow.
And the reason why I never pursued a month is because being Playboy of the Month, I was told there was insinuations multiple times that I had to do something to stand out to Hefner and the team. And that to me seemed like there was a underlining tone of, what is it that I have to do to get this role?
And here's the kicker. Diddy wasn't just hosting these events for the sake of luxury and excess. Some sources claim he was using his parties as a means to collect dirt on the celebrities who attended. Think about it. At these extravagant gatherings, surrounded by champagne and carefree revelry, stars let their guard down, believing they were untouchable. But what if hidden cameras were capturing every moment? According to the rumors, that's exactly what Diddy was allegedly doing. The idea that he might have stockpiled compromising footage of Hollywood's elite is sending shockwaves through the industry. One name that's been thrown into the mix is Daniel Baldwin, who recently made some bold claims about these alleged tapes. If you're not familiar, Daniel Baldwin, less known than his brother Alec, has been no stranger to the dark underbelly of Hollywood. In a recent podcast appearance, Baldwin claimed that Diddy had cameras rolling at his parties and that there's now a bidding war over the footage. The thought of Diddy potentially holding this kind of leverage has Hollywood shaking in its boots, leaving many scrambling to figure out if they were ever caught on tape.
I don't buy for a minute that he's going to prison without getting out of here somewhere and stashing $2 billion or whatever. I think he has that kind of power, meaning Sean himself. But remember, it goes a lot deeper than that.
According to Baldwin, these tapes could contain compromising material involving some of Hollywood's most famous faces. And now, people are reportedly paying huge sums to ensure their names never get exposed. Whether Baldwin's claims hold any truth or not, the mere possibility of these tapes existing has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, sparking panic and secrecy like never before.
Saying to me, like, how did you keep, why did you keep going? Why were you there? I'm like, it literally is around me. If I don't stay at home, this is the atmosphere I'm in. Like, I have no choice.
And it gets even messier. A former associate of Diddy's, Courtney Burgess, has reportedly testified before a federal grand jury, claiming he's seen some of these tapes firsthand. According to Burgess, the footage contains major celebrities engaging in activities they would do anything to keep hidden. He even alleged that some of the material came from flash drives handed to him by Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Kim Porter. Burgess's testimony has only added fuel to the fire, leaving many to wonder just how far-reaching Diddy's alleged web of secrets really extends.
And he is very, very dominant. Like, he wants to control the situation. He wants to control his inner circle. He wants to make everyone have a good time and enjoy his parties. And so, it is scary because you think, this person or possibly his social network or the people he's around could make or break your career.
What's particularly chilling is the possibility that these tapes might not just capture Hollywood's biggest stars letting loose. They could potentially contain evidence of serious wrongdoing. This brings us back to the countless other celebrities who were regular fixtures at Diddy's parties over the years. His events became a veritable who's who of the entertainment world, with everyone from Jay-Z to Madonna showing up to celebrate. But now, people are starting to examine those guest lists with a much more critical eye. Were these celebrities merely innocent bystanders? Or did they know far more than they ever let on?
If you say the wrong thing or you complain or I don't know, there's an element where you're just, I guess manipulated in a way to make you feel like, oh, you have to please everyone around you. You can't say anything wrong. You don't want to say a bad thing, or when they're constantly asking you, would you like to do drugs? And you're like, well, I don't do drugs. And they're like, well, why don't you do drugs?
One name that's notably stayed silent amid all this chaos is Usher. The R&B superstar has a long history with Diddy, dating back to when he was just a teenager. Usher has openly discussed living with Diddy during the early years of his career, describing it as an eye-opening experience. In one interview, he admitted that Diddy's lifestyle was unlike anything he'd ever seen, calling it wild and crazy. But when asked if he would let his own kids spend time with Diddy, Usher didn't hesitate to say no. That comment alone has raised eyebrows, leaving many to wonder what exactly Usher witnessed during his time under Diddy's wing. Then there's 50 Cent, never one to hold back his opinions. The rapper has been vocal about his unease with Diddy for years, even before these latest allegations came to light. In a recent interview, 50 Cent mentioned how he's always avoided attending Diddy's parties, describing the vibe as uncomfortable. He even recalled a bizarre interaction where Diddy allegedly offered to take him shopping, which 50 found unsettling. While some might dismiss his comments as typical 50 Cent antics, others are now revisiting his words in light of the current scandal.
If you speak about it at the time, I don't know the consequences of what that could have been. So I didn't really talk about it. I should have gone to the police. I should have said something other than to my agent. I'm just thankful that there was somebody there. There was somebody at that party who helped me because...
But perhaps the most striking revelations come from those who've attended these parties and are now speaking out, like Ray J and Kendra Wilkinson. Both have shared their experiences, claiming they never witnessed anything inappropriate during the events they attended. Still, Their statements have done little to quiet the mounting speculation. After all, if there's one thing Hollywood excels at, it's keeping secrets. Just because someone didn't see something doesn't mean it didn't happen. That's the uncomfortable truth hanging over these allegations, leaving many to question what might have occurred behind closed doors that nobody is willing to talk about.
Separated from him from a very long time because he was using, allegedly, these events to invite them back to these private mansion parties and hotel parties and God knows what else. But he was utilizing the branded events to be able to, get the girl.
An even more intriguing parallel is being drawn between Diddy's case and another infamous scandal, Jeffrey Epstein. Much like Epstein's extravagant parties, Diddy's gatherings were attended by the world's elite, and both cases revolve around allegations of manipulation and exploitation. The comparison has only heightened the sense of urgency surrounding the investigation, with many now demanding the entertainment industry confront its darker side. If Epstein's case taught us anything, it's that powerful individuals will go to great lengths to protect their secrets and reputations. What's becoming increasingly clear is that Diddy's alleged actions have cast a long shadow over the entire entertainment industry. This isn't just about what he may or may not have done. It's about the culture of complicity that allowed it to happen. For years, Hollywood has been a place where the powerful operated with impunity, shielded by their wealth and status. But as more people come forward, sharing their stories, that culture is beginning to crack. The question now is, will this be the tipping point that finally forces real, lasting change?
Enjoying him. So there is so many people involved in this situation that works the machine here. That, Diddy's obviously the head of the whole situation. The king of parties, but there is multiple other people involved that are helping along the situation. Or
let's not forget, there are still plenty of celebrities who have yet to speak out. Names like Leonardo DiCaprio, Mary J. Blige, and Khloe Kardashian, who were regular fixtures at Diddy's events, have remained silent in the face of these allegations. Their silence is deafening, only fueling the growing speculation. Were they simply unaware of what was happening, or are they staying quiet to protect themselves? Whatever the case may be, their reluctance to address the situation is raising more questions than answers. As the investigation unfolds, the entertainment world braces for impact. With each new revelation, the list of those potentially implicated in Diddy's alleged activities seems to grow longer. This isn't just about the accusations themselves. It's about the ripple effect they're having on Hollywood as a whole. The industry is being forced to confront its own complicity, and for many, this reckoning has long been overdue.
The government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being. They have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
But here's the thing, this story is far from over. There are still countless unanswered questions, countless loose threads that have yet to be tied up. What's on those alleged tapes? Who else knew about what was happening? And perhaps most crucially, how deep does this rabbit hole go? As more people come forward, sharing their experiences, it's becoming increasingly clear that this isn't just about Diddy. It's about an entire system that allowed these alleged actions to go unchecked for far too long. So, where does this leave us? Are we witnessing the beginning of the end for Hollywood's culture of secrecy? Or is this just another scandal destined to fade from the headlines? One thing's for sure, the world will be watching closely as this story unfolds. Because if there's one thing we've learned from scandals like this, it's that the truth always has a way of surfacing. The real question is, who will be left standing when it does? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay tuned and stay curious.